The making of Blackbird has helped to empower Australia's South Sea Islander community. Amy Batalibasi, an Australian Solomon Islander filmmaker and producer, developed the film as part of a project under her master's studies in 2015. Speaking to SIBC TV from Melbourne, Batalibasi emphasizes the importance of storytelling about the history of blackbirding through the lens of Pacific Islanders.
I was just compelled to tell this story. I had been researching Australian South Sea Islander history the year prior to my studies, and we did a storytelling project with the community in Queensland and with my family and community. And from that research, I just learnt so much about the history of blackbirding. That's such an important part of Pacific history and Australian history, and it has had ripple effects around the Pacific. But I realised that in Australia in particular, our stories weren't heard. And if they were told, they were from another perspective, from a perspective that was not our own. So I guess I wanted to make Blackbird to increase awareness and start discussions and, empower our communities to tell our stories.
While researching the history of blackbirding in Queensland, Batalibasi was struck by the images captured during that period.
They struck me because they're quite similar to some of the images that I had seen in terms of the African American slavery photographs and archives. And I kind of just realized, no, that's not the context. The context is here in Australia. Not only that, those photographs are our families, our communities, the Pacific Islander people in Australia. And those photographs they're an insight into who these people are. The names of people aren't mentioned in the photographs. We don't really know who they are, or it's very hard to identify them. Sometimes we can, and as ancestors are beginning to research their families, we're beginning to put the names to those people in those photographs, but they are what really struck me in terms of the archival research that I did for Blackbird, and really inspired down to some of the cinematography that you'll see in Blackbird is really inspired by those photographs.
Looking forward, Batalibasi hopes to create a feature film based on blackbirding using a similar storyline.
Blackbird is only 13 minutes, but I'd like to make a film that's about 90 minutes and really delve further into the history and also this story that is brother, sister, sibling relationship as the central kind of characters. And to do that, there are lots of hurdles to jump. 10 years later, I still haven't made that film. It requires, I guess, time and money, and it requires more research and really traveling to talk to people and kind of create those connections which are already there. I am determined, though, to do that in my lifetime. Sometimes it's proven to be a little bit longer for me. But the reality is that in Australia, if you look at female filmmakers of feature films, and particularly women of colour who make feature films, the statistics are still very, very low. So I'm going to keep trying and find a way to do that.
SIBC TV understands Batalibasi has dedicated the film to 3 family members who were blackbirded and never seen or heard from again.